Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda, and this is going to be my April and May wrap-up. So between those 2 months, I only read a total of 8 books, but I did read some great books in April, so I do want to talk about those really quickly. The first novel that I read in April was Stillhouse Lake by Rachel Caine. This is the first in a trilogy, I believe, and it's a thriller. It was pretty good. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Like I said, it wasn't like the best thing I've ever read, but it was enjoyable. I don't know if I'm going to continue though. It did leave off on a little bit of a cliffhanger, so I kind of want to know what's going on, but at the same time I'm not sure if I feel like investing time. The next book that I read is The Love and Lies of Rukhsana Ali, and this is by Sabina Khan. This follows our main character, Rukhsana, and she is gay, but her family doesn't know she's gay, and it's about her trials and tribulations and what she goes through and how she wants to tell her parents that she's gay, but in her culture it's very frowned upon, and I loved it. Like, I teared up. I felt angry. I felt so many emotions. Like, Sabina just her writing brought out all of the emotions in me, and it was amazing. Like, it was amazing. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. There was a plot point in there that I didn't appreciate, but it's a pretty big spoiler, so I don't want to give anything away. So that's why I knocked it down a half star. But really, it was amazingly done, and it made me feel all sorts of things, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I definitely will be picking up more things by her in the future. The next book that I read in the month of April is called The Radium Girls by Kate Moore. It's actually a nonfiction, and it is about the Radium Girls. I gave this one 5 out of 5 stars. It didn't read like nonfiction at all. It was so insightful. So basically it's just talking, if you guys don't know anything about the radium era in our society, which I really didn't. Basically in the 1920s, starting in the 1920s, I believe, up until the 50s maybe. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It's been so long. So these girls are being hired to work in these radium factories, and radium at the time, they didn't know that it was harmful, lethal actually. And these women were painting watches with this radium mixture, and they were like consuming it. I mean, they were told to like take it home and like write, because they would glow in the dark, obviously. So they would like put it in their hair, and they'd put it on their face and their clothes, and they would do all these things, and then women started getting sick, and they started dying, and no one was doing anything about it. These women were losing limbs, they were losing their teeth. It's pretty grotesque, I will tell you that. It's really, really grotesque, and I listened to this on audio, and there was times that I was like, oh God, okay. Like, it was hard to listen to, but it happened, and I think that's important to like learn about these things. I can't believe that, like, and also during this like radium crazed era, like they were telling people to ingest it, like they were drinking it, telling them that they're gonna like cure illnesses and live longer and do, like, it was good for their skin. And I just, like, reading this, I could not believe it. But then it made me think, how many things are we told that they're good for us? How many things are thrown at us on a daily basis that, like, this is so good for you, it's so good for your health, and, you know, this, that, and the other, and then to come to find out, like, it's not? Or are we ever gonna know, like, this is actually the reason that everyone is getting this kind of cancer or whatever? It was very eye-opening, and I don't want to say I enjoyed it, because that's just not the right word you use in this circumstance, but it goes on to talk about the women, like, taking legal action and just everything that they've went through, and it's just it's crazy. But I really liked it. So if Kate Moore ends up writing anything else, any other nonfiction like this, I probably will pick it up. I think there is a movie, so I would like to watch that and see what that's all about. But I did give that one 5 out of 5 stars, and I really, really liked it. The next book I read is The Final Six by Alexandra Monier. I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. This is set in the US, but like far in the future, where the planet is no longer inhabitable, and so they're picking like the best out of the best from each country and sending them to this space camp and putting them through all this test, and then they're picking 6 people to send to another planet. I can't remember the planet now. to try to re-inhabit another planet so that we can continue with human life, because at that point the Earth is just not going to be around much longer. I don't remember a lot about it. I was fascinated by like the space program and like all of that, like getting to go to space, but there was a romance in there. It is YA, so of course there was a romance, and it was like an instant romance. So yeah, it just wasn't my thing. There is a sequel, I think. I don't know if it's a trilogy or just a duology. It does leave off on a hangover. It does leave off on a cliffhanger, but I just don't think I'm going to continue on. The next book that I read is Becoming by Michelle Obama. I waited months and months for this audiobook from the library. I finally got it. I finally got to listen to it. And you guys, if you are a Michelle Obama fan, I highly, highly recommend it. She narrates it herself. It is very eye-opening. She's just a normal woman. Like, she didn't ask for any of this. And it's so great. So great. 5 out of 5 stars. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Okay, so that's everything I read in the month of April. Now let's talk about what I read in the month of May. The first book that I picked up is Our Kind of Cruelty. This is by Araminta Hall. This is a thriller, and basically it's about Mike and Verity. So Mike and Verity were in a relationship. They were madly in love. Some things happened. They broke up, and Mike is just trying to get her back and show her how much she loves her and how much they need to be together. I don't want to say much more than that. I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars, and I really enjoyed it. So if you're looking for a thriller, it's pretty short, and I quite enjoyed it. The next book that I picked up is Girls with Sharp Sticks. This is by Suzanne Young. This follows our main character, Philomena. She is sent to a all-girls finishing school. It is run by men. There is one woman to speak of, and she is the husband of the director of the program, and she doesn't really offer them too much. These women are told how to do their hair, how to do their makeup, what to wear, how to act, how to speak. The media and the food, everything that they consume, whether it be media or food or what have you, is all regimented by the school, the directors. So they don't really have a say. They're just being taught how to be trophy wives. Like, they're going to school, but they can only learn so much, and they continuously learn the same things over and over again. They're taught to keep their heads down, not to talk back, not to speak unless spoken to. Like, it's very, like, we want to go back to the 1950s, like when women were like meek and just did whatever their husbands wanted and didn't ask questions and just went about their business. So something happens, and then Philomena's like, wait a minute, I want to do my own thing. And then things start to unravel from there. I really enjoyed it. It's the first book in a series, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And then the last book that I read in the month of May is The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. This is the second book in her companion series, the first being The Wedding Date. I read that one last year, and I absolutely loved it. This follows Carlos, which is the best friend of Drew from their wedding date, and his little budding romance. I love this book. I think I like this one more than I like the first one. So much so that I immediately went on Amazon and pre-ordered the third book, which is called The Wedding Party, I believe, which will follow another group of characters from these novels. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I will tell you now, like, Jasmine Guillory is definitely like an auto-buy author for me from this point on. After reading this, like, I just need everything that she writes. She actually has a Royal Holiday, I think, that comes out in October, and I haven't pre-ordered that one yet because it does come out in hardback and I want it in paperback, but I might not be able to wait for paperback, so I might pre-order that one as well. I just love her. I really, really love her writing, and I love her on Twitter too. She's great. So those are the things that I read in April and May. Let me know down below if you guys have read any of these things or what you thought about them, or tell me what your favorite thing that you read in the month of May was. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Goodreads, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.